Every day I'm asked, oh, won't doing hip flexors make your hip flexors too tight? And our hip flexors are too tight. Well, they're both tight and weak, okay? I'll do a little demo for you here. I just did 20 on the right leg because I'm gonna be doing both sides. This is over 10% of my body weight, getting thigh at least to parallel without the back knee cheating. Kind of lost count. Feels like about 20. So just did that. To make measures worse, whew, can barely even pick up my foot. To make measures worse, I'll do one of these nasty Nordics, right? Because I'm also asked on this one, oh, won't that tighten up the hamstring? So ready, my thigh is gonna cover. All right, so we got that out of the way. I mean, I just did it, but because I train my strength in the ATG system also through length, notice that back hip flexor, and I do the same on the hamstring, okay? Splits, and other side, okay? Length, see the lengthening going on in there, okay? Boom. That's the quick answer. I'm able to maintain excellent length and strength. This seems to be the miracle at preventing injury, is when they've used these crazy expensive machines to analyze the length of a muscle, not the flexibility, but the length. So at this stage, I don't even stretch. I just get strong, but I get strong in every nook and cranny, and I get strong in the stretched position and the flexed position. My theory on athleticism is you make your body more athletic by getting pound for pound stronger through the full range of motion. So this would be the most lengthened position, right? That we can strength train those quads. But that's built for me on loading and getting stronger in the very top position. You see that? So you know how many people tell me, oh man, I wish I had your ankle mobility. But they're never loading, they're never getting stronger in that range, so the body tightens back up. Not to mention, they're missing entire parts of the body, such as the ankle flexion. So anyone can completely transform athleticism. Naturally, I couldn't even grab the rim.
Literally, I don't know if he could touch the rim with his fingertips with no basketball or anything else.
Now I'm dunking all 4 plants by transforming your strength relative to your weight through the entire range of motion according to gravity, right? So I never even once I could dunk, until I started loading my tibialis, my shin splints were too bad. I couldn't dunk off 1 foot. I was naturally a 2-foot jumper. So there you go. And that is the trick. And one more I'll throw in is we use this the other way, because you're probably thinking, well, how do you get the most stretched position behind the knee? So the slant board becomes really key. The more you've played sports, probably the tighter those calves are. So we load through with the slant board. So we get stronger in these, but we never work through pain. No study in history shows that it's good to be weak. It's never an advantage to be weak in any area. And even some of the strongest guys, they're only getting hurt because of their own strength and how far. So that's why I showed you the split on both sides. Miracle number 1 for injury prevention is the strength through the full range. But miracle number 2 is the balance between sides. Both of those are so common sense because that's how our body was designed. So injuries are not natural. Pains and injuries are not natural. It's different if you're in a contact sport getting hit, but I'm talking about non-contact injuries, chronic pains. Our bodies were not designed this way. Our bodies were designed correctly. So all we have to do is look at where did we deviate. So ATG is a system of correcting all those deviations on a gradient scale without ever working through pain. So you can evolve to creating length. I mean, this thing on the knee, say on the left side, you know, I say it in almost every video, but it's a perfect example, is that my left knee with, like, so right through here, I have partially artificial kneecap. If you see when I turn my knees, it has this, I have this mass right here. So I thought, even I thought the full bend stuff would never happen for this left knee. And I mean, it couldn't be easier. When I do that, what am I feeling? Quads? I only feel my quads and VMOs. I don't even feel my knee. So even, this stuff is so effective that we can even overcome some artificial stuff, because it's not natural to have this giant plastic whatever is in there. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that even if you have had shit happen, you still might not have to give up hope if we try something that's never really been tried, which is honestly training according to gravity from the ground up. Really rebalancing one side at a time and addressing length for all the areas, because we really only have studies on the hamstring showing 4 times less chance of hamstring injury. And with different Romanian deadlift type stuff, which we use, but I mean, some of these things for hamstring are much more well known, but then we have like no studies, nothing on tibialis, yet so many people lack. See, it's even harder without weight to get with heel down to flex that tibialis and get your hamstring to cover without your back knee touching. But if you look at the position I'm in there, and if you look at then something more common, like a, you know, like your single-legged RDL, you can get, so I never set out for splits, right? I was just a shit athlete. I never set out for this. I just wanted to dunk. Couldn't dunk because I was always getting hurt. So then set out to try to figure out how to bulletproof. It's a really bulletproof, pound for pound strength through the full range, according to gravity. It's never been done, so you can hate that my story looks different. You know, I would have had to pay my college coach pretty well, because even my high school coach says what a shit athlete I was. And if you've played college sports, you know you can't pay these people. So it doesn't mean I'm able to jump over the moon. Life is still hard. Life is hard, but it doesn't have to be as hard. And honestly, these chronic pains can ruin your life. I was completely depressed. Honestly, I was depressed, going nowhere in life. And it wasn't for lack of work ethic. I only train 30 minutes a day now. I used to spend 30 minutes just foam rolling and stretching to warm up for my workout, to then spend 30 minutes after static stretching. Now I don't do any stretching. I use static stretching in the beginning, but even with this, I like to do it moving and flexing the quads. But even if you just hung here, that is some weight. You see what I mean? So static stretching is great for the foundation. So that's why even in zero, I allow some static stretching. But as soon as we get to dense, there's almost no static stretching left. And by standards, then there is no static stretching. You see what I'm saying? So there you go. I'm gonna shut up now. Have an awesome week. Miracles await us. Untested miracles built on common sense and built on the belief that the human body was designed correctly.